Baie welkom aan elkeen van u by hierdie plegtigheid. Ons gaan nou met die amptelike program begin, maar net 'n paar afkondigings. Vanweë die nasionale COVID-19 regulasies en universiteit se gesondheids- en veiligheidsprotokolle sal hierdie geleentheid natuurlik so 'n bietjie anders daarna uitsien as gewoonlik. Due to COVID-19 regulations and our own protocols, this event by necessity has to be somewhat different from our regular ceremonies. Therefore, please take note of the following. All gradients and guests have been assigned unique seat numbers, and we kindly ask that you do not change seats, as the seating record will be used in case contact tracing becomes necessary. And then only the essential staff members required to constitute this ceremony will be present at this event. Thank you for understanding that we had to limit the number of guests that you were able to invite. Baie dankie dat u begrip het vir die situasie waarin ons almal is. Rest assured that this hall is thoroughly cleaned before and after each ceremony. The wearing of a mask is mandatory for both gradients and guests for the full duration of the ceremony, including when gradients cross the stage. And we do ask that you please maintain a safe distance of at least 1.5 meters from others at all times. And no food may be brought into or consumed in this hall. Only water is permitted inside the venue. Now to the ceremony itself. Dames en here, oor die seremonie net die volgende. We will not be singing the national anthem, as is our custom, but instead listen to an instrumental rendition of it directly after the procession has entered the hall. Our presiding officer this morning is our Vice Chancellor, Professor Wim de Villiers. When we get to the awarding of degrees, gradients will be called up to cross the stage, but in order to comply with the COVID-19 regulations, there will be no handshaking by the presiding officer or hooting by the registrar. Instead, please walk up to the presiding officer, exchange nods, and then turn around for photos and acknowledgement by the audience. That is your big moment, so enjoy that, die groot oomblik waarvoor u gewag het. Members of the audience are also welcome to take photos, but please switch off the sound and the flash first. In fact, we ask that you switch off your cell phone or at least keep it on silent for the duration of the ceremony. At the conclusion of the ceremony, once the procession has left, we respectfully request that you exit the hall and the building swiftly so that cleaning and preparation for our next ceremony may commence as soon as possible. And we also ask that you kindly ensure that you take along any waste items such as water bottles, tissues, etc. when you exit the venue, and dispose of these safely in the bins outside. Baie dankie vir u moeite in hierdie verband ook. We do also ask that you please do not congregate in the foyer for your own photos and selfies. You can exit the building and capture the moment outside with the beautiful Victoria Street as backdrop. Or if you wish, the official photographers have set up a designated area for photos. Gradients and their family and friends are also welcome to make use of this service. Also outside you will see the pop-up shop of the Marty shop, the mobile unit there for purchasing Stellenbosch University branded items to remind you of the successful academic journey we are celebrating today. Baie dankie dames en here vir u geduld met baie afkondigings. Dis natuurlik in ons almal se belang. In this time of COVID-19, we have hybrid graduation ceremonies. This is one of 11 small physical in-person ceremonies for our doctoral gradients. All other degrees are being conferred during online faculty-based ceremonies that have been pre-recorded and scheduled for release on YouTube. So you're welcome to go and check out that as well. The links will be on the university's webpage. Some good news, this graduation ceremony can be followed via live streaming from anywhere in the world. In case you are not aware of this, now is the moment to quickly send those WhatsApps to family members over the world. You can share this address, that is the university's web address, www.sun, that is sun.ac.za/streaming. Deel gerus die adres met vriende, dis universiteitsadres. Vorentoe skynstreep streaming. It seems unlikely at this stage, but please note that load shedding may interrupt internet connectivity and therefore also our live streaming, but you will still be able then to access a recording of the event as of tomorrow, and that's also on YouTube, and you can follow the links from the university's webpage as well. If for some reason we have load shedding, it will, however, not end the ceremony itself. We have a generator on standby. So if there's a power outage, we will remain seated. You can remain seated while we switch over to the emergency power. You're welcome, of course, to share your graduation experiences on social media. The hashtag that we use is SUGrad. Just remember to put your phone on silent. We know, of course, that all our doctoral graduates are very active on social media, so you're welcome to do that. Dames en here, ons is bykans nou gereed om met die plegtigheid te begin. Ons gaan vra dat u opstaan vir die akademiese prosesie en sal bly staan tot nadat ons na die nasionale lied geluister het. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession and remain standing until after we have listened to the national anthem. Baie dankie, thank you, en kos kakulu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will begin the proceedings by listening to an instrumental version of the South African national anthem, and due to our COVID-19 protocols, we will not be singing the anthem, but only listening to it. Dames en here, ons begin die verrigtinge deur na instrumentale weergawe van die Suid-Afrikaanse nasionale lied te luister. Dankie, u mag maar iets sitplekke aanneem. Please be seated. Hiermee verklaar ek hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch behoorlik gekonstitueer. I hereby declare this congregation of Stellenbosch University duly constituted. Ladies and gentlemen, at the start of this graduation ceremony, we as academic community, parents, partners, family and friends are deeply grateful to be here today to celebrate our graduates' success. But we also honor and think of members of our broad university community who have passed away or have lost loved ones this year during these most challenging times. So to this end, I invite you all to remain seated while we observe a devotional moment, granting each other the space to do so according to our various secular and religious perspectives. Ek nooi u daarom uit om net so te bly sit terwyl ons vir 'n gewyde oomblik stil word, elkeen in ons eie ruimtes van verskillende sekulêre en godsdienstige lewensbeskouings. Baie dankie. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So, goeiemôre aan julle almal. En hartlik welkom by die voorlaaste van 11 fisiese graadeplegtighede wat hierdie week op ons Stellenbosch kampus plaasvind. En dankie dat u dit nogal op hierdie openbare vakansiedag bywoon. Ons vertrou dat u die verrigtinge sal geniet. A very warm welcome to all of you to the second last of 11 physical graduation ceremonies scheduled for this week on our Stellenbosch campus, and nogal on a public holiday. So in addition to all of us present here, we also have online guests who have joined the proceedings via live streaming. It will also be recorded, and we really would want this to be a memorable experience for our candidates, family and friends alike. We will now listen to Professor Mwandi Dlali from our Department of African Languages, who has recorded a few words of welcome in isiXhosa.
Molweni manene na manenekazi, siyanamkela kumsitho wothuso kule veki. Siyathemba ukuba olu suku luza kuba neenkumbulo ezinhle kwabo baza kube bethweswa izidanga kwiintsapho zabo kunye nezihlobo ngokubanzi. Manene namanenekazi, sizama ngako konke isinako ukubiza amagama abantu ngendlela efanelekileyo. Ndiqinisekile uDean nesekela lakhe bebezama ngako konke okusemandleni ukuziqhelanisa noku, kodwa okuyinyani sinabo baza kube bethweswa izidanga, abasebenzi kunye neendwendwe ezivela kwindawo ngendawo ezahlukeneyo, ezinelwimi ezahlukeneyo, nezo zivela ngaphaya kwemida yaseMzantsi Afrika. Yiyo loo nto sicela ukuba nibe nenyameko kuba singakufumanisa kungumcelimngeni ukubiza amanye amagama kunye neefani. Enkosi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to be able to preside at this ceremony. One's graduation is a momentous event. It's a huge milestone on your life's journey, especially at PhD level, the pinnacle of academic studies. And it's for that reason that the university chose to proceed with these smaller face-to-face, more intimate ceremonies, because this is such an important event and it is the pinnacle of your academic studies. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. Congratulations to you. You've worked extremely hard under very trying circumstances. It's hard to believe that we're 21 months into this pandemic. Aanvanklik het ek gedink hierdie gaan net 'n kort naloop wees. It will just be a short sprint. And then it turned out to not only be a half marathon, but a marathon. And this year it's an ultra marathon. And we may even be now getting into the third year of the pandemic. It may be more of a comrades or even longer than that. So I really take and we all applaud you for persevering and for being successful through these very, very difficult, very challenging times. But what has become very apparent, wat baie duidelik geword het, is dat die bydraes aan die gemeenskap, aan die breë gemeenskap, the society at large, van wetenskaplikes, from scientists these past 2 years have been immense. It's been invaluable. It's been tremendous. It's been absolutely outstanding. And our Faculty of Science has also contributed to this. It has been a place of innovation and agility, and an example of research and innovation that have had significant real-world impact. And it speaks to one of our strategic themes as a university, research for impact. And that's exactly what, in many, many different fields, the university has been able to contribute to. Because we need scientists. We need scientists, such as yourselves, to address the many challenges and the opportunities facing us today. And these challenges are not only that of fake news in an age of pseudoscience and anti-intellectualism, things that really worry me a great deal, where we have come to embrace an age of rationality. But it's also, we need scientists like you to also communicate the importance of science for the lay public. And the Dean of the Faculty, Professor Louise Warnig, mentioned in her online graduation speech, and she spoke to the value of a formal qualification in the natural sciences. Because in the end, what does it do? It contributes to those scientific advances that benefit mankind and the natural world. And very importantly, scientists have the opportunity to shape a sustainable future here on Earth. And I think that's become very clear also earlier this year when the university established the School for Climate Studies, which is a multidisciplinary cross-faculty initiative that will address all the different effects and different impacts of climate change and climate studies. So the Faculty of Science, Dean, has been very successful, and congratulations to you. Across all our 10 faculties, we are awarding 143 doctoral degrees, and it's actually 6 more than this time last year, and a record number of 677 master's degrees. And this is the most this past decade. So your alma mater, your institution, has contributed and is contributing significantly to the development of human capacity. Maar die fakulteit van natuurwetenskappe het natuurlik ook baie goed hiertoe bygedra. Just looking at this wonderful crop of PhDs here, it's fantastic to see. They've produced the most honors degrees in 10 years, namely 202. So, well done, well done. And it speaks to the ongoing development of an academic pipeline. Daar kom baie goeie jong mense deur, en ek is so bly daaroor. So we're very proud of our university's contribution to the development of our country, our continent, and the rest of the world. I have now no doubt that the group sitting here, the doctoral graduates, soon to be graduates, that you will use the knowledge, skills, and networks you've gained to actually make the world a better place for everyone. Because we need, especially now, in the face of these challenges that I've outlined, we need to embrace the chance to contribute positively to society. I know your journey has not been easy. I've also walked this journey, done a PhD, have had many failed experiments. Many failed experiments, some tears. Didn't always agree with my supervisors. But in the end, this is where you've arrived at today. So well done. So dames en heren, ek sal nou aan die kandidate wat aan my voorgestel word, die onderskeie doktorsgrade verleen. I will now confer on the candidates who have presented to me the respective doctoral degrees in a moment. First, allow me to single out some very important role players in the candidate's academic journey. their supervisors. So they would normally have read out a brief summary of their candidate's thesis and called them up to receive their degree, but we are now in this new normal due to COVID-19. But I do want to pay tribute to the supervisors, so I'm therefore going to ask them to please stand and show yourself to the audience and to the cameras, and we'll give you a hearty round of applause. Please stand. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, and well done to you all. Many hours spent on your behalves as well to get your mentees and these candidates to where they are today. We really appreciate that. So now for the big moment. Madam Dean.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to acknowledge the following candidates who completed and graduated in March 2021 with a doctoral qualification. These candidates will cross the stage for ceremonial purposes only. Johannes Ludovicus Barnard, with dissertation Structure Property Relationships in PVC Lubricant Compounds. Supervision was provided by Professor Albert van Reenen. Megan Cartwright, with dissertation Progestins and Breast Cancer, Significance of Progesterone Receptor Isoforms and their Altered Ratios. Supervision provided by Professor Donita Afrikander. Jan Constantius, with dissertation, a hybrid experimental and theoretical investigation into the multi-component gas adsorption properties of selected porous materials. The supervisor was Professor Catherine Esterhuizen. Kiabetswe Masike, with dissertation, The Development of Standardized Ion Mobility and Mass Spectrometry Metabolomics Methods for the Characterization of Plant Phenolics. Supervisor was Professor Mariki Stander. Tanya Olivier, with dissertation Adsorption of Inhibitors to the Crystal Surface of Hemozoin, Rational Design and Synthesis of Novel Antimalarial Drug Candidates. Supervisor was Dr. Catherine de Villiers. Sean-Ray Jade Sammy, with dissertation Development of New Metallodrugs for Hemozoin Inhibition. Supervisor, Dr. Catherine de Villiers. Lisa Mercien van Wyk with dissertation investigating the solid state dynamics of one-dimensional coordination polymers. The supervisor was Professor Len Barber. Meneer die Vice-Kanselier, ek versoek u om die graad dokter in die wysbegeerte in die fakulteit Natuurwetenskappe aan die kandidate wat ek aan die voorstel te verleen. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer on the candidates whom I'll present to you the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science. Jonathan Hay with dissertation, design and synthesis of dual heterocyclic hybrid inhibitors for malaria and cancer. Supervision was provided by Dr. Margaret Blackie. Sandile Yongile with dissertation, the structure of silicon-33 and sulfur-35 and the magicity of the neutron-20 gap and proton-14. The supervisors were Professor Matthies Wiedeking and Professor Sean Weingart. Muhammad Qasim Joseph with dissertation, late transition metal complexes based on novel pyridine triazole ligands as catalyst precursors in oligomerization and transfer hydrogenation reactions. The supervisor was Professor Selwyn Mapoli. Stefan Keen with dissertation, quantifying the insulin response in mouse C2C12 skeletal muscle, a minimal modeling approach. The supervisor was Professor Jackie Snoep. Tulu Tata Yotle Mosikimang with dissertation, novel analytical methods for the determination of antiretroviral drugs and their metabolites in environmental water samples. The supervisor was Professor Andre de Villiers. Sean O'Kennedy with dissertation, analysis of hydroformylation catalysis mechanisms of rhodium metal catalysts by in situ analysis and computational means. The supervisors were Dr. Willem Gerber and Professor Selwyn Mapoli. Ngatendwe Bushle Catherine Fuka with dissertation, vibrational spectroscopy for characterization of a cyclic antimicrobial peptide. The supervisor was Dr. Pieter Neetling. Sinzu Rakutu Narivo with dissertation, The Definable PQ Theorem for Dense Pairs of Certain Geometric Structures. The supervisor was Dr. Gareth Boxall. Chandra Michaela Smith with dissertation, PVP tyrosinases bioconjugates. The supervisors were Professor Bert Klumperman and Dr. Ruben Fipka. Meneer die fisiekanselier, ek versoek u om aan die kandidate wie se name ook aan u voorgelê is, maar wat nie hier teenwoordig is nie, die onderskeie grade in hulle afwesigheid te verleen. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degrees on those candidates whose names have been presented to you, but who could not attend in their absence.
Ek verleen die onderskeie grade aan die kandidate in hulle afwesigheid. I confer the respective degrees on the candidates in their absence.
Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Chancellor's Award in the Faculty of Science is Mrs. Marietta van den Worm. I have the pleasure in presenting the following motivation in respect of the recipient. Marietta van den Worm het haar in 2001 by die fakulteit Natuurwetenskappe aangesluit as fakulteitsbestuurder. Destyds die eerste pos van sy soort by die Universiteit Stellenbosch. Oor die volgende 2 dekades het sy nuwe bestuurstrukture tot stand gebring wat deesdae noodsaaklik is vir die optimale funksionering van 'n hoogs gekompliseerde en diverse akademiese omgewing. These include financial and academic administrative oversight, management of research facilities, upgrades to infrastructure spread across 14 buildings on campus, as well as innovative recruitment initiatives such as the popular Science Winter Week. Combined with an impeccable work ethic and exceptional drive, Mrs. van der Worm's management expertise has been instrumental in the faculty's success. Meneer die fisiekanselier, ek versoek u om die kanselierstoekenning vir uitnemendheid aan Marietta van der Worm te oorhandig.
Dames en heren, ons het nou die toekenning van die grade afgehandel. Short and sweet. Maar namens die Universiteit Stellenbosch wil ek almal van u wat vandag hier 'n kwalifikasie verwerf het, hartlik gelukwens met die bereiking van hierdie besondere mylpaal. Baie geluk. En baie geluk ook aan Marietta van der Worm met die verwerwing van die kanselierstoekenning vir uitnemendheid. Baie dankie. So I actually neglected at the start of the proceedings to introduce myself. I'm Professor Wim de Villiers, I'm the Rector and Vice Chancellor, and we're joined on the stage today by the Registrar, the one who really does all the work, Dr. Ronel Retief, and Professor Dinesh Ramjugannath, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, and then of course also the Dean, Professor Warnig, Louise Warnig. So let's have another round of applause and congratulations for our graduates. You not only have a PhD from Stellenbosch University now, you also automatically qualify as an alumnus of Stellenbosch University and as a member of the convocation. I must say, the list of titles of these dissertations that Professor Warnig read out to us, it's very impressive, very diverse, some real tongue twisters in there. Well done on all this work. I don't know how many of these theses, I have to confess, will be on my bedside table as nighttime reading. But well done, it's fantastic. And I also have to say, I am Wim de Villiers. My wife's name is Catherine de Villiers. There is a Catherine de Villiers who was the supervisor for 2 PhD theses. There's no family links, but well done. So I want to tell you that we're immensely proud of your achievement. Ons is verskriklik trots op wat julle bereik het. As I said, this is a big deal, this red toga and the hood. This is a groot story. So this is a good day for you, and it's a good day for your family and your friends. And we really want you to stay engaged with your alma mater. We want you to come back and also share your experiences with students that are still on their journey towards graduation. Maybe if you have the inclination to pay forward a little bit in terms of your time and your talent to also help younger people. We also have many alumni hubs, either here in South Africa or abroad. Daar's Marties oral. Hy never fails to amaze me where I meet Marty alumni. And I'm also always impressed at the considerable contribution that they make to society. Hulle lewer 'n besondere bydrae tot die samelewing. We even have our own LinkedIn. It's martiesconnect.com. So if you're interested, you can upload your details there to help us stay in touch. But really, from the heart, all the best for your very bright futures and what you're going to achieve there. So, but I do also wish to congratulate the parents, spouses, and family with this significant achievement of your family member, spouse, or friend. I'm sure you can also attest that this went hand in hand with quite a bit of sacrifice. As I mentioned, the journey to a PhD is not a short one, but we trust that seeing your loved ones achieve this makes it all worthwhile. But I think it'll be very appropriate for our graduates to stand up and to acknowledge their support of your loved ones with a hearty round of applause and wave to them as you turn around and acknowledge them. Thank you. Dames en here, ons het nou die einde van die verrigtinge bereik en ek verklaar hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch as beëindig. Ek versoek u om op te staan en te bly staan totdat die akademiese proses hierdie saal verlaat het. We have now come to the end of the proceedings and I hereby declare this meeting of the congregation of Stellenbosch University closed. So would you please rise and remain standing while the academic procession leaves the hall.